I'm Ning Li. My advisor, Professor Lin, and I currently did this survey. We both comes from the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Shenzhen. Very glad to share our survey entitled Global Diversity of Authors, Editors, and Journal Ownerships across subdiscipline of psychology during the Culture Dynamic and Culture Change session at IACCP 2022. We are doing the survey about diversity. So share with you specialists in culture psychology area. As we all know, psychology science study of human beings. The success of it depends on the ability to draw conclusion on a wide range of cultural contexts. The importance of diversity in advancing scientific innovation and progress has been widely acknowledged, but previous research prominently focused on gender and race. We do not pay more attention about the geographical diversity. And also the previous research showed about the West educated industrial rich democratic society and the United States are overrepresented in psychological researches. And the scientists are just like other people, they are shaped and constrained by their natural, cultural, and social environments without them being fully aware of this kind of influence. So if the position without adequate global diversity, important but unique phenomena outside the United States may otherwise go totally unnoticed. For example, the culture during the rapid but not equal economic developments, parents migrate to bigger cities for a better job and to earn some money, leaving their children with their grandparents or other family members are often popular. The left behind children in developing countries, such as in China, due to its sheer population and the scale of economy, are rarely applied in developed economy countries, such as the weird societies or the United States. Also, for the social context, as culture can greatly affect people's concepts of the self, from seeing oneself as an independent agent, as in the collectivistic culture such as China, and see oneself as an independent agent. It is typical in individualistic cultures such as the United States. For external validity in clinical psychology, the effectiveness of psychological intervention or psychology therapy must be validated before we apply it to another a culture context, or it might be do more harm than good when applying it to this. So the global diversity of our science, to understand it, we must understand the global diversity of top journals, which have the highest visibility and steer the direction of the field. The global diverse authorship is a natural antidote to the weird or United States bias. Researchers, they typically use convenience samples around them due to the familiarity and the low cost, right? And at the same time, the editors, they tried the topics of publication and selected the reviewers, making decision about the rejection or acceptance. Authors' fate of submitted manuscripts are affected by the editor-in-chiefs and other editor members, and often the other editor members are typically appointed by the editor-in-chief. For the journal ownership, it is rarely to be addressed by previous research. Some of the research are used the only American Psychological Association we call the APA flagship journals. It may reflect the special practice or bias from the APA itself, right? So we do use find more journals from different ownerships to store this kind of information. For method part, we selected 68 high impact psychology journals according the impact factor, top percent in each category on Collaborate's journal citation reports. We manually track down the ownership of each 68 journals. Some of them are belonging to academic societies like APA, and some are from the publishers like Springer's. The editor board are collected in spring 2021. We coded their country based on their location of their institution, but not their nationality. And we found it in the website of the GEN journals. We use JCR contributions by country or region from 2017 to 2019 to detect the countries where each journal is also from. And to quantify the geographical diversity, we intend to use the diversity index, Simpson index, sorry. Applied to our cases, both indexes account for abundance and evenness of the region present, and the formula are listed here. And the values statistically compared use diversity t-test based on variance estimation of actual counts. It was implemented by past version 4.07. As a result, firstly, we could see the global diversity in ownerships and editor-in-chiefs. Over 70% of the journal or the editor-in-chiefs from the United States, right? And we could see other countries are all European countries or English-speaking countries. It is similar for that in editor and authors. The results show that editors from the United States are overwhelming majority in those journals. But in most of categories and types, editors from the United States are about 15%. Although the for United States authors shrinks less than half, but it still has a majority of authors, about 44%, right? For the diversity index, for editors, it's a long way from the diversity, and it's increased for authors, but it's still only 0.76. So independently, we to see the diversity indicators, it's this demonstrating a progressive decline in global diversity from authors to editors and from the editors to EICS. And all of these are far away below 1 for diversity. But interestingly, when we selected the United States sample, all of these diversity indicators increased. Even the author and the editors are limitedly the difference, right? And it's more approaching one the full diversity. For the 20 countries with more than 0.5 authors, only United States have more editors or editor-in-chief than authors. We should choose the authors from the editor. We should choose the editor or EICS from the authors. So it is definitely overrepresentation from the United States since they have more editor positions than authors. For other countries, they didn't have this. Also, the exacerbating the issues is a bias for journals to have more authors and editors from the home country of the journal, relatively the foreign journals. And this bias further compounded by United States being the country with the stronger one, right? In United States, they have more stronger home country bias in authors, editors, and in editor-in-chiefs. But the home bias is popular for all the countries with a journal. Interestingly, among those countries own a journal or have EICS in journal, only United States journal and journals with United States EICS have the lowest diversity, global diversity, either in editor and authors. So to summarize this, the United States brought the outside influence in all authors, editors, and owners, and the EICS, and it caused low global diversity. And the global diversity shrinks along the hierarchy of authors, editor board members, and EICS. Interestingly, when we removed the United States, we reduced the difference significantly and increased the diversity itself. Ownership lead to home advantage, but only in United States they are more severe, and there is a unique American overrepresentation. The home country bias is most pronounced in United States, and journals from United States or with United States EICs have the lowest global diversity levels. So we call on this kind of policy implications, such as to increase awareness and transparency in global diversity, and we want to recruit more editor-in-chiefs in leadership positions from the underrepresented countries. This would definitely they mightily hired more editors and accepted more publications from underrepresented countries. It is good to achieve representations of editorships in journals relative to authorships. And also, we should give more editor positions from non-English speaking countries, since all EICs are from either European or non-English speaking countries. We are urging to training more students and researchers from underdeveloped countries and do more collaborations and to establish more journals from this kind of countries. This is our reference. And thanks for listening. And I do appreciate if you have questions or comments, please share with me. Thank you.